It's the start of the year. It's only February and already some of you are slipping. You made promises, you set goals, and now you're letting them slide. Why? Because you're acting like amateurs, letting your feelings dictate your actions. But greatness doesn't come to those who move when they feel like it. It comes to those who show up and consistently, no matter what, deliver. Pros, they don't wait for inspiration, they command it. They don't do it because they love it every day. They love it because they do it every day. Think about the best mothers, man, that care for you. They love you. They show up every day and they take care of you. They pack your lunch and send you off to school, man. They inspire you. They talk life into you. They tell you who you're going to be. They're pros, man. What if they showed up and said they weren't in the mood today? I'm not in the mood to be nice to my kids. I'm not in the mood to mom today. No, they commit to it. They honor it. And they do it day in and day out, no matter how they feel. Gosh, shout out to all the great moms out there. You want to be successful? You want to be the best? You need to go pro, man. That means keeping your freaking word. Keeping your word is the hardest thing you're going to do. It's really hard. And that's when you have to keep it. It means doing what you said you were going to do, even when the initial excitement is worn off. It's about building a reputation of integrity, becoming someone others look up to as the standard. Amateurs show up when it's convenient. They let their hobbies dictate their schedules. But if you're serious about your craft, you can't treat it like a hobby. Hobbies are for you. Professions come with obligations. The second somebody hands you a check for what you do for a living, you ultimately become a professional in my eyes. The second you cash that check for sales, for business, you are a professional. It's time to act like it. Your professions are going to come with obligations. You need to understand the state of the art of raising the bar. Know who it's for and what you want to change and the different things that you want to change in order to rise. Okay? In order to rise, you have to start to raise the standard. Amateurs, they don't even think like this, guys. They don't care to think like this. They care to think about everybody else. They care to think that there's other things that affect their life more than them. They have an external locus of control that everybody else affects their internal temperature. They're hot, they're cold, they're hot, they're cold, they're up, they're down. Amateurs go from hot to cold to hot to cold. When you put on the uniform you wear, you're sending a message. This is who I am. Professionals, they never miss a deadline. They don't throw tantrums when things get tough. They don't make excuses. The industry weeds out the unprofessional, lazy, entitled babies. Work is what you said you would do. So what you said you do. You told your wife you were going to show up to work today. Did you do it? You told your kids that you were going to give them the best lives ever. Are you doing it? I remember at my dealership, it was about staying until the deal was done. I remember staying until 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I know that sounds crazy to some of you guys because you've never really truly committed to anything great. You've never really truly committed to pushing yourself past your limits. Think about it in a race, a marathon, whatever it's going to be. You show up half-assed, you show up believing like you don't know how this is going to go, you're never going to win that race. You're never going to finish. If you show up thinking that like somebody's going to beat you and you're going to get punched in the face, you're going to get punched in the face. You're going to get beat. You think a UFC fighter or a true pro shows up thinking, oh, I'm just going to half-ass do the work. I'm just going to half-ass show up to training camp. I'm just going to half-ass show up to this fight and not visualize the win, not visualize the outcome. No, that's because they're pros. It's about treating your work with the respect that it deserves. Let me say that again. It's about treating your work with the respect that it deserves. There's always somebody out there, no matter how good you think you are, that will make you look like a freaking amateur. So don't be a quitter. Don't be a person also that has so much ego that they don't even think that there's room for them to grow. Being coachable is about having the humility it takes to look in the mirror and say, I'm not done yet. Achieving greatness is a slow process. It's about failing forward, failing and falling on your back, looking back up into the fight and getting ready to get right back in it. It's gradual. It's the little things. It's the details that you overlook, the tasks that you postpone, that chip away at your standards, that chip away at your self-esteem. I want you to think about this. Every time you let something slide, you're making a withdrawal from your standards bank account. These small little lapses add up. Hold yourself accountable for every freaking action, especially when no one is watching. The more that you deposit into your standards account by doing exceptional, hard work that pushes you past your limits and paying attention to the details, the more success you'll achieve. All of you guys can do this. It's not special. I'm telling you right now. The people that I've seen make the most money, they just take actions. They do everything that I'm telling you in here. They understand that they don't want to be an amateur. They know the amateur things that they do, and they draw a line in the sand and they say, no more. I'm not going back to that person. When I was a freaking amateur, before I decided to go pro, I would live in this gray area where it's like, it was okay to do that. It was okay to eat this. It was okay to treat a person like this. I would keep going back to these low limiting beliefs and standards. And I never ended up making the money that I wanted to. I never had the impact that I wanted to because I didn't live at a strict standard. The stricter standard that you live at, the more freedom that you will create. The more freedom you'll create with your finances. The more freedom the more love you'll create inside of your family. Think of if you had a standard, you were gonna take your wife on a date night and you stuck to those standards. All of a sudden, there's more love. All of a sudden, people are seeing that you keep your word. You have to be consistent. If you're an adult and you're consistently needing motivation to take action, it's time to leave your amateur desires behind and go pro. Let me say that again. Your amateur desires need to get left behind and you need to go pro. It's time to level up. It's time to make a decision to change. The difference between a pro and an amateur lies in your mindset. Professionals stick to the schedule. Amateurs, they let it get away from them. Professionals know what's important, man. They know what to work towards. They know it's going to be hard, and they work with a purpose. They work with a purpose. Commitment is the cornerstone of your success. I promise you right now. Promise you. Without it, your goals are worthless. If you're not serious about what you want to achieve, you're going to lose momentum and you're going to eventually quit. And let me tell you about quitting for a second here. You can't afford to keep quitting because all of these little times that you quit, you don't realize you're pushing yourself further and further away from the person that you want to become. If you just would realize your family, the life that you want is on the other side of you not quitting, taking quitting off the table. You have to take it off the table. You have to be a person that no matter how it's going, you stay in the fight. I see people burn their lives down every 2-3 years going from industry to industry. Why? Because they just quit right when they start getting momentum. I fully believe it takes you 2 to 3 years to really learn in an industry how to be an unstoppable salesperson. But most people, they give it 6 months. They give it a year. And if it's not playing out the way that they want it to play out, they quit. They quit when the diet gets hard. They quit when that shit gets mundane. They quit when they get used to their wife. They quit. They quit on them. Something gets hard. They quit. They run from the door. They're not okay with fighting for what they want in life. You have to be a person that fights for what you want, okay? So without commitment, your goals are worthless. If you're not serious about what you want to achieve, you're going to lose momentum and you will quit. I promise you. Commitment helps you. It helps you. It's everything. It helps you. Commitment helps you stick to your goals during the good times and the bad. When barriers get in the way, that's okay. It's about having the discipline it takes to commit even when it's hard. Look, you got to stick to it. You have to commit to what's important instead of just merely saying it's important. I hate these people who talk about it and they don't do it, that learn shit and they don't live it. This video, you need to live it, not just learn it. Becoming a pro means making your priorities a reality. It's about starting when you feel like stopping. It's not because you want to work more, but because your goal is important enough that you don't simply work on it when it's convenient. It's about making time for what matters, especially when you don't feel like it. I don't feel like it most of the time. Instead of playing the victim and letting life happen to you, why don't you go start playing offense and start committing to attacking life, to fully committing. You have to want your goals with a burning intensity. If you don't feel this intensity, This isn't a show. This is how I freaking live. If you don't feel this way, you're never gonna win against people like me. If you're too cool to go out and live with some intensity and some passion, or you're scared what other people think, you're never gonna win. If you don't win like this, if you don't carry this intensity, they aren't real goals. Maybe they're nice to have, but they're not something that you're gonna stick to every day. Professionals take ownership. They take ownership of holding themselves accountable to the process. They understand that excellence is a habit, not an act. Can I say that again? Excellence is a habit, not an act. So decide. What does decide mean? It means to kill off. It means to kill off. Decide. Kill off the old version of you. Decide today that you're gonna kill off the old amateur habits, desires. It ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard. The stuff that's actually pays is hard, okay? I want you to do this. Set a schedule for your actions, not based on your results, but on your actions that you can perform. Stick to your schedule, even when it's annoying, even when it's painful, even when it's draining. Let me explain something to you. In the Elliott Group, we manage actions. We manage phone calls. We manage appointments. We manage the data, the numbers. We have to stick to those things. And if you just do things over enough and you run the system and you run the play and you stick to the actions, the results will come. It's like working out. Stick to the actions of getting in there every single freaking day. Every day and going to war. Will you change? Will your body change? Yeah, but there's also people that get in there, they've been working out for years and they don't never change. Well, that's because they don't have intensity. You gotta have intensity and you got to have actions. Remember this, professionals, they're relentless. They take pride in showing up every single day. Simple. Do you show up every day? Do you take pride in showing up every day? Do you take pride in showing up when you're sick and you don't feel good? Do you take pride in it? I take pride in doing what other people don't want to do, man. Never bet against the person who just keeps showing up. Outlast your competition. Patrick McDavid says it all the time. Outlast your competition. Most of these people are gonna quit. Accountability breeds progress. Professionals recognize the role of skill and luck in every outcome, man. Listen, you're gonna need skill and your luck is gonna be created based on the amount of action that you put in. They focus on the controllable factors. They create an environment where luck is more likely to strike. They are relentless. They're showing up every single day regardless of the circumstances, man. Luck will strike you if you're doing the freaking work, I promise you. So funny how the people that you think are the most lucky, the people driving the nice cars, with the nice house, with the beautiful wife, the everything that you're looking for, you think that they just got lucky? No, they're working. It's time to stop being an amateur. It's time to go pro. Keep your word, call your shot, build your freaking brand already. Become someone with moral authority, someone who sets an example. This is what you said you would do. Now do it.